Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be testing two very popular indicators. Well, actually one is very popular, the RSI indicator, one of the more popular indicators out there, especially for reversals. The other indicator that we're going to be using is the Chande Momentum Oscillator. This is what the Chande Momentum looks like. We're going to be testing that and figuring out exactly which of these two indicators is better to use as a breakout signal when trading on a breakout strategy. If you're curious on which one to use and which one's going to give you the most money and most profit on your trades, stick around to the end of the video and find out. Okay, so let's get to testing both of these indicators. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull up the relative strength index. So type it in here on tradingview.com. That's it right here. Click on that and let's take a look at the RSI. So by now you should be pretty well aware of what the RSI looks like. It's just one line. It's a purple line on TradingView. You can make it whatever you want. It just oscillates between these two bands. The lower band is at it's at 30 and the top band is at 70. So what we're going to do for our test is we're going to take a long position every time that this purple line breaks above the upper band. So let me click on this so you can see it better. So every time that this line crosses above that upper band, so right there we would take a long, right there we would take a long position, so we would buy and hoping that the price goes higher, there and there, so on and so forth. If I click on that, obviously we don't take the buy here, we take it on the actual price chart. It would be here at the end of that, and so on and so forth every time that the line breaks above that 70 band. Okay, so let me get rid of all this and take the drawing tools away. So now let's pull up the Chande Oscillator. Let me show you guys what it looks like. So it's the Chande Momentum Oscillator. It looks like that. Now the way the Chande Momentum Oscillator was created was, let me double click on it. This is what it looks like. You see there's only one line here and it's at the zero line. There isn't an upper and a lower band because it was meant for us to take a long position whenever the oscillator crossed above the zero line. Now that looks like it's going to be really noisy, like we're going to get a ton of signals, so we don't want to do that. We're going to go something, we're going to make this, let's say we'll put that at the 60 mark, which still gets us a ton of signals. Not that much actually. I think it's going to be pretty good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a long position every time that the Chande Momentum Oscillator crosses above the 60 line. This is going to be 60. Double click on that. Turn this to 60. Okay, so every time that the oscillator goes above 60, we're going to take a long position and then we're going to see how that does compared to the RSI. Okay, now these two indicators are just here for us to see, to verify that everything's working correctly, but this is the tester up here that we're going to be testing. Okay, so the first one we're going to test is the Chande Momentum Oscillator. As you can see, every time that we cross above this line, the 60 line, we're taking a long position, so that should be one there. We're going to do a stop loss of 1% and a take profit of 1%. So that'll give us a ton of signals. But what we're really looking for is to see right after the price crosses that 60 line here, does the price continue to go up or does it immediately reject that and come straight down, right? So let's take a look at the strategy results. And this is what the results look like. Not very good, right? It's coming straight down. So that tells us right away that it's the Chande Momentum Oscillator. It's probably not the best indicator. It's probably not the best indicator to use for breakouts. So now let's see, what if we move the stop loss to 5% and our take profit to 5% as well? And that kind of just verifies it that we're just going to consistently be losing money if we try to use that as a breakout strategy crossing the 60 line. But let's kind of play around with it just a little bit. I don't want to just assume that it's not a working strategy. Let's do a crossover of the zero line. So every time that the oscillator goes above the zero line, let's see what happens there. Okay, so I'm going to go into the code and I'll change it up and be right back. Okay, so here's the results. So this is with a 5% take profit and 5% stop loss. Now these results aren't going to be very accurate because as you see here, we would go in right here. Let me get my drawing tool so you guys can see. So we go in on that entry here, right? When the line here crosses above the zero line. But the problem with that is because we have a 5% take profit and 5% stop loss, there's going to be a ton of signals in here that we could have taken, but we're not taking because we're in a position, right? So it just doesn't give our data, it's not going to be very accurate. So let's move this to 1%, our stop loss, and our take profit to 1% as well. That'll give us a little better idea of what we're dealing with here. Although, again, it's very noisy and we may not be getting that good of signals. Let's see what the strategy tester tells us. yeah, again, it's not the best strategy. I mean, we were in the profit for a little bit and then came back down. We're going back up again, but there's really no promise or sign that, you know, that this is going to be a good strategy or a good signal. I shouldn't say strategy because, well, these aren't strategies, right? This is just one part of the strategy, which is the signal to get into a position. So now let's try the RSI instead. Okay, the Chande momentum oscillator is not really giving us very good signals. Actually, one last thing I want to do. Let's move this line up to 70. We're gonna have way fewer signals, so maybe the signals will be better, right? So let's see that. Let's do that last thing before we jump over to the RSI and see how that does. Okay, so I'll jump in the code and I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are. Let me get rid of the drawing tools. Now we're gonna get much fewer signals. So let's see if they're better signals or not. Again, this is 5% stop loss and 5% take profit. We're down 69%. It's not looking good. Let's move our stop loss and our take profit to 1. And it's better. I mean, we're in profit and we didn't take a huge, well, we did take a pretty big dip there. So yeah, all in all, the Chande momentum oscillator isn't looking too hot. Let's see how the RSI does with the same exact parameters, same time frame. We're using Bitcoin, the 1 hour chart, and let's see how it does. So let's come up here to our tester and let's flip this over to the RSI. So just to verify, what we're doing is we're taking a long position when the oscillator here crosses above the upper band. So you see this just barely crossed above the upper band here. Right there, you can see it. And we took a long position there. Okay, so let's see how we did. Now this is a lot better, right? We keep making money, and we're taking a few dips along the way, but it's not too bad. Now, this isn't a full-blown strategy, right? We don't want to 352 trades to make 37% is not the best strategy in the world, but it's a start. It's a start. We're going in the right direction as opposed to the Chande momentum oscillator, which we kept losing money on, right? So let's see. That is a 1% stop loss, 1% take profit. Let's move this up to 5%. 5% stop loss, 5% take profit. Let's see what happens to the price when we give it more time to breathe and we're basically going to be in the trades a lot longer. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we're actually doing a lot better, right? Now we're up 111% rather than only up 32%. So that's not bad. Over 160 trades, 0.7% per trade. So it's not terrible. So all in all, again, that's just testing with the 70. I could go back and test, say, the 60 or the 80, but overall, like, we already know that the RSI is just better than the Chande momentum oscillator in terms of this, right? In terms of a breakout strategy. Now, that doesn't mean that it's better for other things. Maybe picking reversals, the Chande is better than the RSI. Maybe for confirming, maybe using the indicator as a confirmation indicator would be better, right? All we know right now is that if you want a breakout signal, then the RSI is a better signal than using the Chande momentum oscillator. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Now you may be wondering, okay, so what can I do with this information now? So there's two different things you can do. Keep watching these videos. I'll always be back testing different indicators, and we really want to narrow down exactly what the best indicators are for each specific purpose. So definitely keep watching the videos as you build your own strategies. Now, if you don't have time to build your strategy and you just want follow along with my trades, I've narrowed down the best indicators out there to use, and I've put together profitable strategies, which I have a Discord channel of that you can actually join just by clicking on the link in the description. When you join the link in the Discord channel, I send you profitable signals. All you have to do, have the alert set up on your phone. As soon as the alert comes through, you take the trade, you take the profit as I take the profit as well, and you don't have to take the time to build your own strategy, which is the hardest thing to do as a trader. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, goodbye.